Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So I know it's really late. And I'm sorry. I know I look like my makeup's gone and my hair is more messy than usual. I look like I've been in a pool. It's because I have been. It's just I got a chance to spend some time with my mama this week. And she's with me through Monday night. So I've been really enjoying my Sunday with her. So anyway, guys, but I didn't want to miss out on one just kind of brief little check-in on the topic of love. And as I'm holding this deck, this feels wrong. Let me go with this deck. Nice to see you guys. RS, Cataclysmic Awakening. G, hey, darling. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, so we start out with expectation. Very nice. I'm only going to read this one upright, but I am going to get two more out of this deck. Okay. Um, hmm. Get together. Very nice. So we have somebody who's like they sense something really great. They sense mediator. They're sensing that there's going to be. I first looked at it as only positive, but and I'm still kind of more inclined to say this is something positive. This is a love message. Sure, we could say somebody's expecting to, sit down and they need like some kind of ambassador to, like smooth or make the introductions but I feel like because of this expectation and this opportunity to come together, somebody could be bringing like a wingman with him or her. It's like, I really want to go talk to so and so, her and her friends, so bring me with you to the barbecue because and then introduce me to her so that I'm kind of like vetted. It could be something like that. It could be that there is an expectation that, I want to go meet him or her, but I definitely want a little like sometimes it's easier to break the ice when you have, a wingman beside you. Oh my God, thank you so much. Danielle, you're so generous. Thank you, love. And it's so great to see everybody. Thanks everyone for being here so late tonight on the Sunday. Of course, I guess it's not always late for everybody. Some of you guys are probably enjoying your mornings right now, but we have a Knight of Pentacles. This has been like a long time coming. This has been like there's been a plan. There's something here. Every time I see the rainbows arc here, I always think there's this great song by the Voids called Wink, and it anyway references the rainbows arc, and I don't know. I always think of that when I look at this card. I have other cards that always make me think of Hawaii. I've got like a 10 of cups or somebody sliding down a rainbow. Okay. Here's hoping that we got through that double set of buffering that everything did just now. That was 2 times that I had to do a reset just now. I'm hopeful that we're smooth now. I'm so sorry. I know that buffers sometimes in the middle of these live streams, and there's nothing I can do on my end other than do a little reset that I've learned to do, and that seems to get us back on track. But YouTube has some funky little live stream glitches that we just kind of roll with it. But we have the Lovers card. We have, look, this is obviously, it's supposed to be a check-in on the topic of love. What I did not realize is that we have some lovely fantasy, and I'm going to say it's on both of their parts. Perhaps we have a masculine and a feminine who both are thinking about each other. Maybe they both would like to meet each other, but they need someone else to help them come together. Now, the mediator doesn't have to be a person. What if this is the divine? What if there's going to be, sometimes individuals that care about each other, they're interested in each other. Sometimes, the only reason they ended up being on each other's radar at all is because they're kindred souls. Sometimes, that is like, let's say our own subconscious, or maybe our past lives speaking through us, or maybe that's just our own, instinctually like, kind of like primitive brain saying, that's my person, that's who I'm hungry for, that's who I'm going to drive myself toward, is this individual. Sure enough, there are 2 of cups. So we could say that perhaps the mediator is the divine. this doesn't look like it's a person anymore. It looks like we have two individuals that have a little, I'm going to say like one of those little crackling, excited emotions that they're both carrying within their hearts, because it's like, I think I'm going to see them soon, or I'm going to meet them soon, or I'm going to get a chance to interact with them soon. Obviously, these two individuals think about each other in a romantic sense, a passionate sense. This is for her, it's been like quite a long time that maybe she's imagined this day was going to come, but I don't think it's any different for him. Let's double check though. Let's see, where is he at with this? Hi, everybody. So glad you're here. 10 of Wands. Okay, it's been a long road for him too. He's been doing some serious heavy lifting, some hard work. Whatever this is, he's been putting when you put the capstone on your freaking pyramid, the capstone on a pyramid, and of course there's lots of different hypotheses about the pyramids as a whole, right? So not to pretend like I know so much about this, but some things that I've read have suggested that those capstones were perhaps kind of like obelisks. They were intended to be like things that could channel energy either from the cosmos into the earth or from the earth up to the cosmos, either direction. And it just feels like he's been putting this capstone on his pyramid. This could just represent, he's doing the final completion steps for something in his life, for something, in his soul, so that he feels really empowered. Or this could be something a little bit more energetically spiritual. So when it comes to him, I don't know that he's been thinking so much about love as he's been thinking about finishing up something that he's needed to, so then he can move on to the next chapter. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Death card. We couldn't get more next chapter, right? A 10 is a wrap up. An Ace of Pentacles is a brand new beginning, and the Death card is total transformation. He's been doing a significant dust up in either his heart, his mind, his spirit, maybe all of the above, maybe everything, changing gears in career path, changing anything in his life, everything perhaps in his life. All of that has been shifting. It's being altered. We have the all gifted. This is Pandora before we open Pandora's box. And the story of Pandora it's not fair anyway, in the sense that, in Greek mythology, of course, the gods displayed all the same terrible traits that we mortals do, right? So Zeus was forever worried that, the mortals would become like the gods, and that made him jealous. And so he always wanted to like hinder the mortals and mess with them to a certain extent. So he devises this plan. He decides to have Hephaestus, who was like his personal, I guess you would say, like architect, potter, blacksmith, many different things. But Cataclysmic Awakening, thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you. You're so kind. That's so generous. But he has Hephaestus create this woman out of clay. And this is the first mortal woman ever made. And then all the Olympian gods gift her some of their attributes. So although she's a mortal, she still has she's extra beautiful, she's extra intelligent, she's extra alluring, all these things. And then she goes down to earth to get married to a man. And Zeus gives her this wedding gift, and it's this jar. And unbeknownst to her, he has not given her a gift at all. He has tucked it full of all the negative stuff that humans experience now. So she opens up her wedding gift on earth, and what spills out is jealousy, rage, hatred, pettiness, all those bad attributes. And that's how all that crap got onto the planet Earth. And it's that she was kind of a pawn in his game, because he was angry that Prometheus had given mankind fire, and he was worried that with the tool of fire, mankind could rise to new heights and maybe either wouldn't need the gods or would almost become gods themselves. So he wanted to kind of at least throw some kind of wrench into the gears so that it would bog us down. So that's kind of the story of Pandora. Now, this is before Pandora's box gets opened, though. We still have the all gifted. This is where everything's going good still. So we don't have to let something negative happen. And we have this masculine who's in this place of he's finally maybe he's wrapped up a really bad chapter of love in his life, and he's healed himself, and he's like over somebody, and he's feeling like, God, I'm ready for this new beginning, and I'm ready to meet somebody who's really lovely, really wonderful. And of course, love can always wind up, being an unexpectedly rocky road or something that is not as wonderful as what we were hoping for. But that all depends on how we play our cards. I feel like he's ready to like love again. I still feel like he knows all too well that things can go really south, but he seems very hopeful and very ready for something fabulous. So here's hoping, like, if Pandora had just never opened the box or the jar at all, that stuff wouldn't have spilled out in the first place. So I kind of think, armed with that knowledge, we could change the course of history. We have a Four of Cups. There's definitely something here where I'm going to say for him, there's a certain amount of like boredom when it comes to illusions. I do think he's a bit of a romantic. I do think he's also somebody who's worked really hard to heal himself. He wants things to be different, but he's aware that there can be illusions. This can be a card of illusions, of disappointment, and of boredom. And I like the fact that we're tempering like great hope for something fabulous and beautiful with the awareness that there can also be illusions if we put people on pedestals. So let me just ask, do you know of her? Because she seems real excited to meet you. The divine seems to be drawing the two of you together. Princess of Swords, Nine of Wands. He's like, I've been spying on her for a while. I've been watching her for a while. Yeah, I've been watching her since I was in my Nine of Wands era. Now I'm at the 10 of Wands. So yeah, I've been watching her for a while. In fact, my guides bring my eyes back to her again and again and again. So obviously she's been someone that he's had on his radar. Sorry, my baby is out there kicking it with my mom, actually. It's pretty funny. He gets busy barking sometimes, and if I give him another job, I redirect him. And so he was busy barking, and I was like, Aries, look at grandma's feet. And he will do things like that. He understands a lot of language, and so I was like pointing at my mom's feet just to give him something to redirect. And he comes rushing over, and she starts busting up laughing. And she's like, why did you do that? I said, because it stopped him barking. And she's like, I think you could work with a dog trainer and get some other techniques. And I'm like, but it worked. You give a blue healer a different job and they'll do it. He needed to look at your toes. And so he did his job, and he stopped barking. Yeah, I live in a strange world. All right. We've got the Page of Swords. Sorry to interrupt with that personal story. But this is Loki, god of chaos, riding in on his little peregrine falcon here. And I'm sorry, I said Page. It's Prince of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords in any other deck, not the Page. This is sudden, like he's going to suddenly go ahead and make his move. In this story, it will be sudden, it will be unexpected. He's had her on his radar for some time. He's hoping for the best, but all too aware that there can be illusions. Maybe it's going to be the Pandora's box that gets spilled open. She doesn't have any of those similar worries. She's actually like, well, I've been thinking about this cat for a long time, and I feel really drawn to him. It'd be great if something sincere and wonderful comes of this. Let's turn to the universe real quick and just say, universe, what do you have to say about any of this? Queen of Swords, hang on. This is about staying honest. This is about seeing things from a higher perspective. The universe is like, well, you've been thinking about stuff for a long time, characters. You've been, when we think about stuff, when we cultivate ideas, or when we take the time to learn about things, learn about ourselves, maybe even, some low-key spying on each other to learn things about them, it means that you've been taking a cerebral and logical approach. You didn't rush forward. Nobody's rushing. Even if they suddenly are going to start talking, the actual foundation of wanting to know each other, liking what they see, getting to know something about each other's personalities, being honest with, do I like that about them? Do I not? That foundation has slowly but surely already been being built between these two. So nothing has moved fast. So it's not like this is whimsical at all. If these two are drawn to each other, have each other on one another's mind, it's interesting because it's like this is coming from that deeper subconscious. They've had plenty of time to think about things. And in fact, they've already built some level of like loyalty, right? We've got the little dog sitting next to her. So both characters have had a certain amount of loyalty because they keep coming back to thinking about each other. No forward motion toward each other, no, but within themselves, they've taken the time, thought about each other, thought about what they, what they like about each other, considered things. And I think maybe that's more meaningful because they've been able to process internally. We have the devil. There's a little bit of fear in all this. And maybe that's why these characters have needed to take their time, because they have been a little bit scared. Um, they've needed to just look. I'm willing to bet, not that these two are cowards in any way, but I'm willing to bet that these two have learned enough about life and been disappointed frequently enough that they both move with some caution, and they have to operate this way. It's like, even if this is taken like possibly a painfully long time, even if we have the expectation that these two are going to meet now, in truth, swift action for them could still be pretty slow, because I think that these two have already taken quite a bit of time and worried quite a bit about, what if I did talk to them, and what if it goes to hell in a handbasket? What if, you know, I just think I'm not saying that they are trying to demand that it's got to be a sure thing before they bother to talk to each other. I just think this already feels like it's pretty serious for both of them. Like they're pretty serious about when they are drawn to somebody. This doesn't mean nothing, right? And if something already, there's a certain amount of gravity to their way they feel, and maybe this is rare for both of these characters to feel a pull toward another person like this, I can understand why it would have taken them some significant time to just work through the thought processes, maybe low key, like do some data collection, kind of figure out who one another is before deciding to even reach out and start communicating. Like a little bit of reconnaissance, kind of, when you don't know anything about somebody, they literally could be anything. They literally could be anyone. Now, of course, the flip side is true as well. And I have been this person before where I was with somebody and it didn't matter that I was with them. I did not know who they actually were. I found that out the hard way. Or I guess not even the hard way. I just found that out with time. And there's sometimes you don't know because people put up layers and layers of really perfectly, I'll say, spackled walls, and you wouldn't know what's behind those walls. So sometimes you find out over time, even though you thought you knew somebody. So reconnaissance doesn't always work, but I will still say that these two have taken the time, have honored the fact that they're a little bit nervous, and they've allowed themselves to take enough time to get to know some things, or at least work through their worries to where they feel comfortable enough reaching out to each other. This may happen in the next week, is what I would say with that Seven of Pentacles and that Fool card. So there is an expectation. This is coming. This is two people that already, like, I think they're pretty tentative, but they also are like ready to go ahead and interact. I kind of feel like this is a love story that's already got a little bit more of a foundation to it, but right now it's more in the 5D. Like there's a hope, there's an emotional, like there's a reason these two are leaning toward each other. There's a reason they even are on each other's radar, is because there's already something here. But again, not to oversell it, not to imagine that, oh, then it's going to be totally perfect. Let's see, what's a possible outcome here? We have the devil, some fear, also some passion. Well, that's, you know what, every day we can find something to be a little bit nervous about. We definitely have passion. Knight of Wands. I kind of feel like these two, I hope that they can manage the like amount of energy that is going to kind of like emerge between the two of them, because I mean there's heat. What's the song? Heat when your body's next to me. Heat, baby, I can feel you breathe. I can't think who sings that. It's like an R&B track, probably 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, maybe. We got that Queen of Pentacles. The possible outcome here is fear, desire, and also the ability to start, you know, planting something that could be very real and that could really go somewhere, that something that could really last. So good luck to them for sure, right? All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this here. So nice to see everybody. I'm sorry this is a little bit brief tonight, and I'm sorry I am washed out and spent some time in the pool. So I'm a wreck tonight, but it was still nice to hang out for a bit. Mirror, nice to see you, sweetheart. Thank you for being here. Carrie Wilson, oh, I never made it over to Hydra. I'm so glad you're there. Is it beautiful? I'm so happy. You know, I love hearing all the different areas in Greece that you are gallivanting and exploring. I feel like I get to explore through you a little bit. So thank you. I love it when you update me on the different places. Because you're seeing so many more of the islands than I ever got a chance to. So that makes me really happy. Thank you for sharing it with me, Carrie. Hi, Linda. Wonderful to see you. Shout out to you in the Pacific Northwest, love. Hi, Nope. Empress Unicorn. So glad to see you again tonight. Who that? Steph Love. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Nani. Manzi Luthra. Awesome to see you. Eskar. Hi, honey. So into it 333. Thank you for reminding me. You guys, thanks so much for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I so appreciate you. And again, Cataclysmic Awakening and Danielle, thank you for such generosity. Godzilla MC, hi. Oh no, did you? You broke your collarbone. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. That hurts. And that just kind of has to heal, huh? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I hope that the mountain bike exploration was fun until the break, though. I hope you got like some really gorgeous, vista or something that you got to see, or at least ended up with a really good story out of it. But I'm so sorry that you got broken. I hope that you heal really quick. I'm sending you lots and lots of good love, healing energy. Oh my gosh. So sorry, hon. Keep me updated on when you start to feel better. Anish to chat too. Good morning, honey. Zona 133 Dawn. I'm sorry about that buffering. Yeah. Tammy Secord's here. Hi, hun. RS. Wonderful to see you. Contented Tiger. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Nick. Awesome to see you tonight. Nicole's in the house. Hi, honey. April Fresh. Juliet. Shout out to you in the UK. Thank you for being here. Good morning, hun. Fallen Raven. Awesome to see you. And hi, G. All right, you guys. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you guys tomorrow. Linda, I agree. Every day is always a good day to hug a dog, right? Sweet. Hi. The night owls have assembled tonight. Melissa Estes. Hi, hun. Oh, T-Baby, you popped in at just the right time. I got to say hi to you. So I bet, Carrie, I'll look up some pictures for sure. All right, you guys, take care. Sweet dreams, everybody, or have a great day wherever in the world you may be. Thanks again, RS. Bye, guys.